Schlosser Video Productions welcomes you to another edition of American Dirt Track Racing on home video cassette tape. Our cameras will follow all the cars and stars of the Central Pennsylvania circuit, while our expert commentators deliver live and spontaneous lap-by-lap, wheel-to-wheel action. We'll take you into the pit area for all the behind-the-scenes stories and bring you up-close, candid interviews with your favorite drivers. From the drop of the green to the last checkered flag, you'll have a top row seat. Join us now for the excitement, the speed, the sound, and the color of American Dirt Track Racing. Here we are, ready to go for the sprint car twin 20s. This will be the first twin 20 of the night.
Okay, we'll run down our lineup here now, John. Starting on the pole, in the car number 17E, Chris Esch.
And alongside him, in the number 28G, will be Joey Gravino.
Row 2 on the inside, starting third, the Hardys, number 880, from Lebanon, Scott Tobias.
Starting in at fourth spot will be brother-in-law Paul Latier in the number 7.
Okay, inside row 3 in that fifth position, the number 28 from Penargil, Ty Scott.
Starting in that sixth spot in the 5W, the Keene Transport, number 5 will be Randy Wolf.
Inside row 4 in that seventh starting position, the number 16, Bobby Weaver.
Starting in the 8th starting position, looking for win number 13 to break the all-time wins record here for a single season. The number 77 will be Keith Kaufman.
Okay, row 5 in that 9th starting position, and the number 70 will be Darren Esch.
Starting in that 10th spot in the number 66, the IGA car will be Roger Fickett.
Okay, row 6 on the inside, 11th starting position, number 57, Donnie Ekman.
And starting in that 12th spot, the number 27 will be Tim Hershey.
Okay, row 7 on the inside, in that 13th position from State College, and number 51, Dennis Edders.
Starting in that 14th spot, in the number 6A, the Ackers car out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, Dutch Snyder.
Okay, row 8 in that 15th position, the number 7K, Cowboy Jim Kennedy.
Starting in the 16th position, in car number 15, will be Al Kuhn.
Row 9 on the inside, in that 17th starting position, in the 1K, Buddy Cochran.
Starting in that 18th spot, in the number 35, the Greg Sauce Shop Special will be Dave Wickham.
Row 10 on the inside, in that 19th starting position, will be Dave Harold.
And bringing up the rear, or bringing up the 20th position rather, in the number 49 is Lash the driver.
Yeah, Phil Lash. And bringing up the rear, row 11 on the inside, the number 24 is John Zentner. So John, it's not going to be long till we'll be going to go racing here in this feature event, the first leg of the Twin 20s here at Port Royal. And as we mentioned earlier, each win pays $1,600, and if one driver can win both events tonight, he will take home $4,200.
$1,000 bonus if you can pick them both up here tonight. I'm sure Keith Kaufman is thinking about that extra $1,000. Of course, he's got a lot of competition here tonight. Scott Tobias, he'll be trying to make a repeat of his performance last week here at Port Royal. The cars are over on the back stretch, 21 starters, 20 laps of distance, and watch out for that record tonight. That 20-lap record may fall here tonight. We hope so, Randy, because that'll mean we have an accident-free race. Here they come off that fourth turn. Everybody heading into that first and second turn. Kaufman down on the inside. Scott Tobias right above Kaufman as they race their way down the backstretch. The leader, the 28G of Joey Gravino.
Okay, Paul Latier in that second position ahead of Chris Esch. He looks real strong early on here in this feature event, John.
Down into turns 1 and 2. Scott Tobias trying to hold off Keith Kaufman for that fifth spot now as they head down the backstretch. Tobias runs fourth, Kaufman runs fifth, and there goes Kaufman, Randy.
But Scott Tobias has the line and goes right back by Kaufman to continue to run in that fourth position. There you see Keith Kaufman on your screen, and now Paul Latier begins to move in on the number 28G of Joe Gravino. The track beginning to dry out, John.
1985 season here at Port Royal Speedway. He's got that number 28 cranked up. It could be tonight, Randy.
Okay, these two drivers are pulling away from third place runner Chris Edge. Has continued in third, and now Scott Tobias begins to move up ever so slightly. There you, on the backstretch, you can see Joe Gravino and Paul Latier. Latier down low.
And here comes our battle now. Keith Kaufman down on the inside of Scott Tobias off turn 4. Here they come. We're watching Scott Tobias trying to hold off the challenges of Keith Kaufman now as they head down the backstretch. Up front, it's still Joey Gravino, but Paul Latier has moved in now, Randy. And now they're going to get into lap traffic.
Okay, let's hope the lap traffic doesn't dictate the final event here tonight. Paul Latier continues to work that low line. Joe Gravino runs up on top. And now Keith Kaufman on back moves into that fourth position right there on your screen. So Kaufman now will set his sights on the 17 of Chris S. John.
Here comes your leaders off turn 4. Joey Gravino in that number 28 G, followed by Paul Latier in the number 7. Gravino trying to hold off the challenges of Paul Latier now. And Kaufman on his way to the front. He's right behind Chris Esch. Here they go down the backstretch. Kaufman now moves up to third, Randy.
Okay, Keith will now set his sights on the number 7 of Paul Latier. Right now, John, I'd have to say that Kaufman is the fastest car on this racetrack.
He's made up a lot of ground in that number 77 as we watch him head down the backstretch. And there goes Gravino by some lap traffic. We got Gravino, Paul Latier, and Keith Kaufman now, Randy.
Kaufman really on the move. I think it's only a matter of time now until he moves ahead of the 28G of Joe Gravino. Paul Latier tries to get down low, but to no avail.
Kaufman now runs second on the speedway. Right there's your leader, Joey Gravino, in the number 28G. Paul Latier runs right behind Kaufman. And look out, we got more lap traffic on the speedway, Randy. The 6A of Dutch Snyder. We're still under green. And Kaufman now works his way up onto the rear bumper of Joey Gravino as they head down the backstretch. Gravino will try and hold off Keith Kaufman now. More lap traffic on the speedway.
Yeah, what a race so far, John. We got a nose-to-tail battle here in this feature event. The fans are on their feet now. Kaufman down on the inside, but Gravino has the line and will hold Kaufman off.
Gravino trying desperately to hold off Keith Kaufman.
The front end of that number 77 race straight up in the air, John.
We got a car losing an engine up on turns 3 and 4. Right there you see it. A lot of fire on that car.
And that brings the yellow out, John. I do believe it's only an oil fire, and it has quickly extinguished itself. That's the 1K car of Buddy Cochran. You can still see there's a little bit of fire on the bottom of that car.
That car was blazing quite a bit there for a while. They do have a fire extinguisher up there at that race car now, Randy, so they should be able to bring that situation under control. But right here comes your battle. Joey Gravino in the Polaris number 28 out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And he's got a lot of accolades from the crowd here, Randy, as he tries to hold off Keith Kaufman.
And you know, John, we noticed his car's for sale. We know Joe's a little disappointed in how things have gone this year. So a win here would be very, very popular. And I think it would be the kind of win that would make Joe think twice about getting out of this sport. So and another good thing, John, that accident, or actually that fire up there in the corner, had that not occurred, the cars were just about ready to get into some very heavy lap traffic where the drivers were dicing for positions. It could have been very interesting, but now Gravino will have clear track ahead of him. And I know you're going to see Keith Kaufman working low to try to get by Joe Gravino.
Right, now Gravino's a bit of a rim rider, so I think Gravino's going to probably go with the high groove here. And Kaufman will be working, like you say, the low end of the speedway. And as we look back through the pack, we see Paul Latier running in that third spot. Chris Esch runs fourth. Then it's Scotty Tobias, Randy Wolf, and Bobby Weaver. And Bobby Weaver has really paid the premium for lap traffic here in the last couple of weeks. Last week, he had an encounter with a lap car coming off of turn 2. And boy, I'll tell you, those lap cars can play a major role in the outcome of a race, Randy.
They certainly can. You hate to see it, but it's part of the game. And I noticed they turned the lights out, so we're going to get a green here in just a moment, John.
Okay, everybody moves up into their proper starting positions. Can Joey Gravino hold off Keith Kaufman here? Kaufman going for that 13th win on the season. Latier still very much in the hunt here. We'll watch them. Everyone picks up the pace. Green flag waves off turn 4. Here they come, Randy. Look at Paul Latier.
Paul Latier gets back by the 77 of Keith Kaufman. What a tremendous race we have here. That's something you do not often see at Port Royal, but Kaufman rides that rim. Latier holds him off again. What a race, John.
Paul Latier is not about to give up. He's challenging Joey Gravino now, Randy.
Okay, here we go. Kaufman on the outside trying to get a hold of that rim. Off turn 4. Wow, that was close.
Paul Latier getting very loose off that 4th turn. Kaufman on the outside now as they race down the backstretch. Paul Latier means business out here tonight, Randy.
That's right. I think Paul would be a lot smarter if he'd move up on the racetrack because it certainly is the fastest part, but he's holding Keith Kaufman off.
Right. We're watching him down in turn number 1 and 2 now. Joey Gravino still your leader. Here comes Kaufman now. He's challenging, and he has moved back into that 2nd spot, Randy.
Okay, now Kaufman will set his sights on the 28G of Joe Gravino. Latier will continue to try to apply pressure. Scott Tobias now runs 4th. Here they come down the front stretch, completing another lap.
Joey Gravino still your leader. Keith Kaufman is still not done with Paul Latier. Paul Latier still making his presence known here.
Certainly glad he decided to run here tonight because he's providing the fans with some great action.
Right there he is again, Randy, down on the inside, but Kaufman has a groove now.
And that enables Scott Tobias now to move up to a challenging position in that 4th place as he runs high on the rim of this racetrack, John.
Scott Tobias now trying to move up and put some pressure on Paul Latier as they head down the backstretch. Here comes your leader off turn 4. It's still Joey Gravino. The first 4 now have begun to pick up the daylight.
We have 5 laps to go in this race, just 5 laps. Can Joe Gravino hold off the likes of Keith Kaufman? And just behind, we see Scott Tobias and Paul Latier in a tremendous battle.
Okay, here they come once again off turn 4. Joey Gravino trying to win his first feature here at Port Royal Speedway. Keith Kaufman determined to take that lead away from Joey Gravino.
Okay, one thing for sure, Joe Gravino cannot afford to make a mistake. He gets out a little bit high coming out of 2. He's going to have to be a little more careful. They're going to come around when we get 3 laps to go. Kaufman right on Gravino's tail.
Okay, we're staying right on the leaders here. Keith Kaufman now runs right on the rear bumper of Joe Gravino.
This is really fantastic. We're going to get into some lap traffic here again as Gravino pulls away a little bit. Let's hope the lap cars don't screw things up today.
Joey Gravino pulls a little bit of a lead on Kaufman as they head into turn 3. Here they come. Lap traffic on the speedway. Only 2 laps to go, Randy.
2 laps to go in this event. We're going to get into lap traffic. Let's hope that they can get through without any major problems. Gravino now cuts down. Lap traffic. Gravino holds the lead.
And Gravino with a very daring move. And here comes Kaufman. He's on the inside. Lap traffic in the way, Randy. Gravino will hang on to that lead.
One more lap. One more lap in this event. And this could be one of the greatest races you'll see this year at the Port Royal Speedway.
Okay. It's down to show and tell time. Keith Kaufman is going to have to try and figure out Joey Gravino. Up in that 3rd and 4th turn. Kaufman's down on the inside, Randy. Gravino.
This is fantastic.
Gravino. Will pick up the win, Randy.
Yes, sirree. Joe Gravino. What a tremendous sprint car race we had here tonight. Finishing 2nd, the ever-present popular Keith Kaufman. Finishing 3rd, the number 7 of Paul Latier. 4th will go to the 880 of Scott Tobias. 5th to number 17 of Chris S. 6th to number 5W of Randy Wolf. 7th will go to the number 16 of Bobby Weaver. And I believe 8th is the 28 of Ty Scott. So Joe Gravino pulls off a big victory here, John.
Okay, Gravino rolls that Polaris number 28 into the victory circle down there. I'll tell you what, Joe Gravino sure earned this race tonight, Randy. Kaufman was knocking on the door very heavily right near the end of the race. Gravino did not yield to the pressure of Kaufman. He done a nice job over on the backstretch getting by that lap car. I said, hey, here goes Kaufman. He's got him beat. But Gravino is a real stand on the gas type driver, and he pulled it off here tonight, Randy.
That was just a great feature event, and I hope that we see Joe Gravino pull that for sale sign off of that race car. I want to see him here for years to come.
Okay, we're going to switch you down to the winner's circle and try and pick up the interview with Joey Gravino tonight in his first feature win here at Port Royal Speedway this year.
Sir, thank you very much. Hey, you missed Excuse the French, but you missed a hell of a race, young man.
I don't see how you missed it. I knew he was there.
Hey, what goes through Joe Gravino's head on the last lap? I mean, you knew he was there. He was all over you. You saw him on the inside. You saw him on the outside. What was going through Joe's mind?
The last lap didn't bother me. It was a lap before with a lap car. I don't mind lap cars because I get lapped. But when they ask you to either move down or hold your position, don't go in here, wind up there, and back down here. I knew I had to run like, pardon the expression, hell, because if I didn't, he'd pass me.
You know this dude?
Yes, I do.
That's probably your #1 fan, Joe.
Well, I got a bunch of #1 fans, and they all rate up here together. I don't like to pick favorites because you probably make somebody mad.
Hey, now I got a question for you. You know about the $1,000 bonus?
Yeah, I know about the $1,000 bonus, but I know about them other 23 cars, too.
How many of you people would like to see a rematch? Joe, they're putting some pressure on you.
Well, you know, if Kaufman can get up through there and I can get going fast, I'll follow him right up through, and if he gives me a break, I'll pass him. If not, if he would win the second one and I'd finish second, I'd be just as happy as I am now, but if I happen to win both, well, better off.
Hey, I heard rumors they put a brand new power plant in for tonight.
No, this engine here is one we had a lot of tough luck with. We broke 2 gear drives in it in a matter of 2 races, and they were new gear drives. Why they broke, I don't know. So I went back to Chevrolet and bought a fiberglass timing gear and chain and put it on, and damn, it's holding together yet.
Joe, a gift for you from Lorenz Cornadelli and a gift for you from Stop 35. Now I want you to walk up here, sir. I have a question. Did you like that race? Joe Gravino, ladies and gentlemen, here at Victory Lane, for Lawrence Automobile. Hey, and Joe, we got some good stuff now.
Well, we gotta wait another 20 laps before we can drink that good stuff.
Frank? Yeah, Fred, come on up here. It's even cold, Joe.
Well, thank you very much. We have a cooler full of ice back here, and we were sort of hoping that we could win a case tonight because it's getting to the point we can't afford it anymore.
Fred, you're in this Path Blue Ribbon Racing Network. What'd you think of that race?
That was just super driving. I just loved it.
Now, this young lady here, the good-looking one, wants to give you a Pabst hat. Hey, that looks good. Look at that. Oh, let up there, Joe. Doesn't that look cool? Joe, good luck in the second 20. We hope to see you back.
Well, if we are, well, then we had a good ride. If we're not, just as long as we finish respectable, we'll be happy.
Your first win at Port Royal, Joe Gravino. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Joe Gravino, ladies and gentlemen, a victory for the first time this year.
First feature win here of the 1985 season here at Port Royal Speedway, and he done a tremendous job, but you know, the race wouldn't have been near as good if it wouldn't have been Hoffman, because he had the pressure on the whole way.
Yeah, the real interesting part was that nobody really pulled away from anybody. You know, there wasn't more than a straightaway separating the first 7 cars, so that's the kind of racing we like to see here.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't show you more of the action that was going on behind Kaufman between Paul Latier and Scott Tobias. But, you know, you got to stick with the winner, the up-front drivers. That we
Especially when there's a good battle.
Tremendous battle going on there for the lead. And, you know, it really pleases me to see Joe Gravino win here tonight because he deserves it so much. He's had so much bad luck. And I'm sure that that's got to boost the morale in that whole crew.
And it certainly would be something if he could come back and win the second one. He'll have to start dead last. It'll be a single foul restart with the whoever finished in last position will start on the pole. So Joe will have a long way to go. But I would say even if he drop out of the next feature, Joe Gravino is one happy man here tonight at Port Royal. There you see him on the screen.
Right, Joe Gravino, a big man. He stands about 6'4", I'd say, weighs about 225 pounds. And he definitely knows how to handle a sprint car. And, you know, like you said earlier, I hope he takes the for sale sign off. And listen to the crowd. I mean, they really...
That's really something, isn't it?
They couldn't have been any more pleased tonight with Joe Gravino. I'll tell you, hopefully he can, you know, him and Keith Kaufman and Scott Tobias and Paul Latier, these guys have come back and give us a real thriller here in the second one. Okay, we'll be taking a little break here. We'll come back with the late model feature event. It'll be up next, and following that will be the second leg of the Twin 20s here at Port Royal Speedway. Okay, Randy, here we go with our 20-lap late model event, our feature race here for the late model. Starting on the poles, the 39 of Mike Hess.
Alongside him in the 53, Roger Laughlin.
Starting in that second spot, the number 21 is Doug Foster.
And on the outside of row 2, the 76X of Graham Taylor.
Starting in that third spot, okay.
Row 3, fifth spot, yeah, Jeff Smith.
Okay, and the number 15, the George Leiter Auto Parts car.
Alongside him in the 77 is Les Hare.
Starting in that fourth row, inside, the number 31 will be Larry Sell.
And alongside him in the number 61 is Scotty Dunn.
And on the fifth row, inside, starting in that ninth starting position, the 65 of Charlie Weirman.
Alongside him, and the first time here tonight, we finally got a name on this driver, is the number 2 of Don Zeckman.
Okay, and bringing up the rear, starting in that sixth row inside, would be the 11th starting position, the number 59, and believe it or not, that is Bobby Weaver behind the wheel of that car.
Yeah, right there you see him on your screen, and I notice one of the Taylor Graphics cars is starting in that scratch position. Possibly that's Larry Taylor, would you think, John?
Probably so. We'll keep an eye on that, try and pick it up from our Speedway announcer, Tom Baker. Okay, we'll set back here and we'll get ready to watch this 20-lap late model event. Again, we're going to be going one more next time around. In fact, when the cars reach those orange fluorescent poles, we'll be looking for a green if everybody stays lined up. But I wanted to mention that, Randy, you know, Jeff Smith is beginning to close the gap very rapidly on your point leader, current point leader, Graham Taylor. Now these guys have tonight and then 2 more late model point races to go, and I think Graham told me this week he only has like a 60-point lead. So, you know, Jeff Smith wasn't going to campaign regularly here at Port Royal, but here he is, only 60 points away from that point championship again. Okay, here we go, off turn 4. Everybody picking up the pace. Here they come off that fourth corner. Roger Laughlin getting a little out of shape. Everybody heading into that first and second turn. Mike Hess will be your leader as they come off turn 2 in that number 39. Right there you see him on your screen. Running in that second spot is Graham Taylor in the number 76 car.
Right there's your real battle now developing, John, for third position between Doug Foster and Roger Laughlin. They get a little bit sideways. Jeff Smith on the outside. Here they come down the front stretch. It's a 4-car battle for that third position.
Okay, Jeff Smith looking for an opening as he races alongside the number 53 car, Roger Laughlin now. Jeff Smith begins to move up. I believe Graham Taylor, you see him there running second in your picture. I believe he switched cars here, Randy. I believe he's running the other car tonight now in the feature.
Very possibly could be. Here they come down the front stretch. There's your battle for that third position. Jeff Smith trying the low side of Doug Foster now as we're back with our leaders.
Mike Hess in the number 39 continues to lead Graham Taylor as they head down the backstretch. Just now, Jeff Smith has moved into that third spot. Doug Foster runs fourth. Here comes Smith. He'll be making a bid on Graham Taylor. He'll be trying to reel in Graham Taylor, Randy.
Okay, Graham Taylor now tries the low side of turns 1 and 2, but to no avail this time around. So he'll have to try to see if he can get a little bit closer to Mike Hess so he can make a better concerted effort here.
Okay, Mike Hess, still your leader off turn 4. He's looking for that second feature win of the season here. He does have one feature win. Graham Taylor going after win number 4, and it'll be 10 feature wins for Jeff Smith.
Okay, Jeff Smith has now closed the gap a little bit on that second place, number 76 of Graham Taylor. It's turning into a 3-car battle very quickly here, John.
And the first 3 cars have pulled away from Doug Foster, who runs fourth. Here comes your battle now, Jeff Smith and Graham Taylor. Taylor maintains to hold the groove. He right behind the 39 of Mike Hess as they head down the backstretch. We'll watch him in turn 3, Randy.
And Mike Hess, to me, looks like he has all the necessary power to keep ahead in this event. But one thing's for sure, if he makes a mistake, one of those two drivers. Yeah, okay. And we see the yellow light over there just off turn 2, very possibly. And just to the left of your screen a little bit.
Right about there.
Right there. You
And
see.
I couldn't identify that race car. I believe it's a 65 of Charlie Weirman though, Randy.
That's who it is, yeah. Charlie Weirman on the inside. Now, he was dicing it up very closely with Scotty Dunn there, and possibly those two got together, but that's only speculation. One thing's for sure, he's sideways off of turn 2, and he'll have to get a restart.
Right, he'll have a lot of ground to go now, and I'll tell you the way Mike Hess, Graham Taylor, and Jeff Smith have been running, they were pulling away from Doug Foster, who currently runs 4th. Right behind Foster's the 77 of Les Hare, then it's Roger Laughlin, Scotty Dunn, the 31 car, then the number 2 of Zekman, and of course Weirman will be falling in on the rear of the field. Bobby Weaver, he is dead last, Randy.
Well, I'm sure this isn't Bobby Weaver's main line. It may possibly be the first time he ever sat in this race car, and he's probably just doing it as a favor and doing it for a little bit of fun.
Yeah, well, hope he's having a good time out there, Randy, because I don't think he's going to bring home a lot of money tonight the way he's running here. But we'll wish Bobby Weaver all the luck in the world. Hey, he may come back and win the sprint car feature, so I don't think Bobby Weaver's going to go out of here empty-handed tonight.
No siree.
Okay, we'll be back once we're ready to go. Green flag racing here in the late model feature, Randy. Okay, Randy, we're back. The late models are relined up here. We're just about ready to go back to racing. We look down the track. Bob Hockenberry waves that green flag. Mike Hess will once again try and hold off the challenges of Graham Taylor and Jeff Smith, Randy.
Okay, now Graham Taylor moves down to the inside of the racetrack to try to get a little bit of a bite. But Mike Hess certainly has the line and continues to lead in this late model feature event.
Yeah, it looks like the groove is definitely up in the middle of the speedway or higher, Randy. The track is really dried out now, and the driver's having a hard time getting a hold of the racetrack. And Jeff Smith right along the grandstand wall here. He's looking for a place to get a hold of the speedway, Randy. Here's our battle now, Mike Hess and Graham Taylor. Graham making a serious challenge here off turn 4 now, Randy.
Okay, the track being as dry as it is certainly is an equalizer. So Jeff Smith has a little bit more difficult time now to use up that horsepower. But it's really a very interesting late model race we have here. It's nose to tail.
As soon as Jeff Smith moves up on the racetrack to go by Graham Taylor, he begins to lose traction, and the back end of that car washes out. Look at this battle off turn 4, Randy. Something's got to give.
This is fantastic late model racing, the way we like to see it.
Graham Taylor really trying to put all the pressure he can on Mike Hess now. Jeff Smith got crossed up a little bit. He falls off the pace. He'll have to race his way back up on the rear bumper of Graham Taylor again.
But you can see the speed he has. He closes right back on the back door of these drivers. And Mike Hess continues to lead.
Doug Foster still runs back in that 4th spot. The first 3 cars have really begun to pull away from Foster, who runs 4th, Randy. Right here is all your race, practically. These first 3 cars, and what a race we got going here, Randy.
And now Jeff Smith is going to try to use the inside of the racetrack. We're at halfway right now. That means we have 10 laps down and 10 laps to go.
Okay, no room for error the way they're running, Randy. They are really tight. Here comes Jeff Smith now. Smith can run right up on the rear bumper of both these 2 leaders, but he just can't pass them.
Well, I'll tell you what, John, it would really be, this would have to be underdog night if Mike Hess can pull off the victory here.
Once again, Jeff Smith had to back off the throttle over there on turn 2 as Graham Taylor slipped up just a little bit on the speedway. Graham Taylor now sideways. Off turn 4, Jeff Smith trying to work his way by.
What a race we have here, John.
Those cars are really loose out there, Randy.
Tonight the fans are seeing some of the best racing that Port Royal Speedway has to offer. Now Jeff Smith down on the inside of the number 76 the battling certainly is a blessing for Mike Hess. Right now he has about a 2-car length lead. Jeff Smith now will try the inside once again.
And there goes Jeff Smith on a big move, Randy. He's going by this time. Here comes Graham Taylor now back. Jeff Smith left it all hang out that time, Randy.
Okay, now Jeff Smith will set his sights on the number 39 of Mike Hess. In the meantime, Grant Taylor's going to have to be awake and alert, trying to get that second position back.
Okay, we're watching Mike Hess, our leader, in that number 39. Here comes Jeff Smith down on the inside of Mike Hess now off turn 4. He's going to have to do another one like he did on Graham Taylor, Randy.
That's the only way he's going to be able to do it. But right now he's on the inside of Mike Hess. This could be the lap that he can maintain that position and beat him into the corner, but Mike Hess certainly has the groove.
And there goes Jeff Smith again. Just like with Graham Taylor, but can Mike Hess hold him off this time, Randy?
And Graham Taylor loses it, coming in right up in turns 3 and 4, and that brings the yellow out.
That's a real lifesaver. That was a real lifesaver for Mike Hess, I do believe, Randy, because Jeff Smith had Mike Hess in a lot of trouble off that 4th turn.
Certainly did. Jeff Smith has the horsepower. His car seems to be working just a little bit better than Mike Hess, so right now this gives Mike Hess a little chance to collect his thoughts. In the meantime, I'm afraid that Graham Taylor, I believe he'll have to go to the rear, John.
Oh, definitely. He brought out the yellow, so.
Now, I noticed that he very, very quickly brought the car back under power.
It doesn't matter. They changed the ruling on that here at Port Royal Speedway, Randy. If they bring the yellow out, you go to the rear.
Okay, so we'll be seeing him move to the rear here momentarily.
Exactly. That was causing a lot of confusion, you know. They bring the yellow out, they hold up the race for another competitor so that he can get his car back under control and rejoin the field. And, you know, they used to do that. If you kept going, but if they bring the yellow out, you go to the back. That's the way it is, you know. Tough break for Graham. He's going to have to come all the way from the rear now.
Yeah, that's a real shame. That was really a good race we had. And we still are going to see some real tight action here because Mike Hess does not seem to have the ability to pull away from
He's
Jeff
lacking
Smith.
in horsepower, yeah, Randy.
He certainly is. So flagman Bob Hockenberry just now motioned to Graham Taylor to go to the rear, which he is now doing. The cars begin to go down the backstretch, and in just a few moments, we're going to go green again here at the Port Royal Speedway.
Yeah, sometimes when that happens, Randy, you know, the driver doesn't like the yellow coming out. But, you know, for all safety aspects of it.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go, off turn 4. Mike Hess, once again, will try and hold off the challenges of Jeff Smith. They race their way through turns 1 and 2. Mike Hess will still be your leader as they head down the backstretch. Right there on your screen, you see them both. Your 2 up front cars, Mike Hess and Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith working the low side of the speedway, Randy. Can he get by this time? Here they come side by side.
Okay, Jeff Smith trying every trick that he has in his late model book to try to get by the 39 of Mike Hess, but Mike Hess once again has the line, leads down the backstretch.
Both these drivers, very experienced veteran drivers. We'll watch them off that 4th turn. You're going to see some good racing here, Randy. Here they come, Jeff Smith. And we've got to be nearing the halfway mark now.
Well, actually, we're way beyond that now. I'm keeping an eye on flagman Bob Hockenberry to see when he gets those 2 flags. I think he's doing it right now. We may be going to have 2 laps to go this time around.
Okay, I missed the halfway mark. We are well into this race. We're getting right down to it here. Jeff Smith and Mike Hess.
2 laps to go. What a tremendous battle these fans are seeing. I'll tell you what, they're getting their money's worth tonight.
It's been a real night of upsets so far, Randy. And right now we're watching Mike Hess to see if he can hold up. Look at this. Jeff Smith goes in hard. Can he hold it? He's tight up against the number 39 of Mike Hess as they come off turn 4. Look at this, Randy.
Look out! Woo! Wow.
I knew that was too close, Randy.
Well, it looked like Jeff Smith got very, very close to the 39 of Mike Hess going into turn 3. I don't know if contact was made, but Mike Hess came down across the track just a little bit when he came out of turn 4.
Well, they were both fishtailing back and forth on the racetrack. You know, that's a situation there. The race cars are loose. You know, you can't blame either one of those drivers. They're both racing for the lead. They came off the fourth turn dead side by side, you know, so, you know, I wouldn't want to lay any blame on anybody there.
Well, the pit crew certainly don't feel the way we do, because they were pointing at Mike Hess that time around. So
well, that's a natural reaction.
It certainly is, because you hate to see your car get all smashed up like this. But one thing's for sure, this is going to be an advantage now to Graham Taylor and his point championship attempt this year, because now Jeff Smith is out.
You know, ironically enough, you know, Jeff Smith hit the same exact spot that we seen Maynard Jinks hit just last week. And you were saying last week, you know, about that pit exit here at Port Royal Speedway for the sprint cars. If we can get the camera to move back a little bit here to the left, the way that comes out there, and there you can see it, if you get out of shape, you go directly into that wall on just a direct hit. And that is bad, Randy, but you know, the way the Speedway's laid out here, I really don't know what they could do. You mentioned putting some kind of a swing gate there that would close that up, but would a gate stand the impact? You know, I was thinking about that.
There's a lot of area there where there would be no support for the fence. I know exactly what you mean. There's really not that much they can really do for it unless, you know, let's say it would somehow kind of pad it somehow, you know.
Yeah, that would maybe help, but
because it's solid the way it is right now. Dirt's piled up right up to the top on the back.
Yeah, it's backfilled there with ground, and that's a shame for Jeff Smith. That car looks heavily damaged, Randy.
Yeah, and you know, this track's about as safe a racetrack as you'll find anywhere in the United States. So I'm sure they've looked at that situation, and if there's ever anything they can do, they will.
Yeah, okay, we'll give them a chance to get Jeff Smith's car loaded up on the wrecker. They'll be taking it to the pit area. And what do we have? 1 lap remaining in this race, I believe.
Well, they may revert back now and go with 2 to go. So it's either 1 or 2 laps to go in this event.
A tough break for Jeff Smith. We'll be back with the exciting finish of this 20-lap late model feature right after this. Okay, Randy, Jeff Smith's car in the pit area. He's going to be a spectator for the rest of this event, I'm afraid. That car has sustained some heavy damage. Here we go, off turn 4. We got 2 laps to go, and Mike Hess, your leader.
Okay, John, I would say Mike should have no problem now if he can keep her between the fences and pick up his second feature victory here this year at Port Royal.
All right, Doug Foster inherited that second spot, but it's very doubtful if he's going to be able to do anything with Mike Hess as they work their way off turn 4 now, Randy.
Okay, 1 lap to go in this feature event. Mike Hess will be able to pick up a feature victory here. Doug Foster runs second. The 77 of Les Hare runs third. Graham Taylor now moves up to 4th, so that's certainly going to help his point lead.
You got that right. Jeff Smith was closing in on Graham Taylor, but Graham he'll watch Mike Hess. Checkered flag waves. Mike Hess will pick up the win.
Okay, finishing second is the 21 of Doug Foster. That was almost too close to call on third. I believe Larry Hare, or Les Hare, was able to finish third, and Graham Taylor 4th, and finishing 5th is 61 of Scotty Dunn. Finishing 6th is the number 53 of Roger Laughlin, and finishing 7th in the number 2 is Don Zeckman.
Okay, yeah, Mike Hess right here in your picture now, and that number 39. Hey, Mike Hess has been running strong here at Port Royal. He's been the bridesmaid on several occasions, and he was just determined to win this feature here tonight. And I think when Jeff Smith, like you were saying, Randy, when Jeff Smith made that real serious bid up in turn 3, that just made Mike Hess all the more determined, because he didn't back off one bit off his 4th turn. And of course, unfortunately, Jeff Smith paid the toll.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, so far tonight, it's underdog night. And if I was a betting man, I don't know if I'd bet on Keith Kaufman in this next event, because it just seems like, you know, the underdog has the advantage here tonight, John.
Okay, we'll switch you down.
Hey, Mike!
Why aren't you smiling, sir?
Out of words. The way this year's been going, we're just glad to be here.
Man today. Mike Hess, ladies and gentlemen, is out of the car. Let's hear from
been racing hard, and I came off the top there and got crossed up a little bit, and I didn't want to do that, and I don't want to win races that way, but it's just part of racing.
Mike, you got the lead to drop the green, and you had your hands full the whole way. I mean, you worked for this one.
Yeah, they always make you work for them here. You know, it seems like the competition's always tough here.
And the thing of it is, you were holding off Jeff Smith, and Jeff is the leader in late model wins in Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, when you come here, that's the man to beat, you know. Years past, it was Tom Peck and Jeff Robinson. Now we got Jeff Smith to contend with, and now you got all three of them.
I think we ought to put his name up there, huh? Maybe Mike Hess ought to be contended with, don't you think?
Well, things have been going a little rough this year, and finally we're starting to get going. I'd like to thank Tom Strasser, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be racing tonight. He bought me this motor, built this motor for me, and all my motors I blew up, so we're running his now. So I want to thank him, and I want to thank all my sponsors for sticking behind me and helping out as much as they have.
I have a question for you. Did you like that race?
Very much so.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Mike Hess. Mike, gift for you from Lawrence Cornadelli and Soft 35. I think you know where both those are at. Don't wait so long to come see us next time.
I'll try not to.
Okay, Mike Hess, ladies and gentlemen, and Victor Lane for the second time this year at the Port Royal Speedway. Okay.
And like you said, this is underdog night the way it looks. You know, coming up next will be that second 20-lap sprint car feature, and we'll see if you know.
It won't be a sweep of the underdogs tonight, huh?
Yeah, you know, we're really looking forward to the second race. We'll be back with the second sprint car feature of the night, the other 20-lap feature event, right after this, Randy. Okay, Randy, we're ready to go here just about with our second 20-lap sprint car feature. The cars, of course, will be lined up in an inverted manner with the winner of the first 20-lap feature, of course, Joe Gravino. He'll be starting on the rear of this event, so he's going to have a long way to go this time.
Okay, John, we can start giving the lineup if you'd like.
Yeah, of course, Gravino will be on the rear. Now, there are a couple of cars starting behind Gravino. Those cars did not come out and take the green in the first 20-lapper, so they will start on the complete rear. But we'll pick it up here with Joe Gravino. He'll be on the rear of the field. He'll be following the number 77 of Keith Kaufman.
Okay, Kaufman will be following the 7 of Paul Latier.
And Paul Latier will be following last week's winner, the number 880, Scott Tobias.
Okay, just ahead of Tobias will be the number 17 of Chris Ash.
And just ahead of Chris Ash in the Keene Transport number 5W will be Randy Wolf.
Okay, ahead of Randy Wolf will be the 16 of Bobby Weaver.
Okay, starting in front of Weaver will be the number 28 of Ty Scott.
Okay, then we have the number 7 of Darren Ash.
And ahead of Darren Ash is the 51 of Dennis Edders.
Then we have the number 57 of Donnie Ekman.
And ahead of Ekman in the number 35 will be
Dave Wickham,
Dave Wickham,
Tim Hershey, Dutch Snyder, and Roger Fickett. And we have green, but it's not a wave green. We'll get the yellow in through 1 and 2.
Look out!
There is the yellow flag.
I believe Dutch Snyder got the jump that time, and that's what brought out the yellow, Randy.
Yeah, that certainly was the reason. So we'll line them up once again. And we got to remember, no race will start if the cars are out of position.
That's right. You know, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. I believe Dutch Snyder just got a little bit anxious there. And he was probably anticipating the green flag, but it was a nice try. It just didn't work.
Yeah, it just didn't work. It almost caused a hairy situation here, though, on the front stretch, but everybody kept their cars in line, and the yellow was brought out at the proper spot up in turns 1 and 2.
Okay, once again, we'll watch Roger Fickett. He is your pole setter in that number 66, and the car starts single file, Randy, in this event. So that makes it a little more a little crazier. Here they come off that fourth turn, green flag wave.
Okay, Roger Fickett holds the lead in this event. The cars are bunched tightly together. It's almost like pushing a chain.
You got that right. It's like a lot of lap traffic out there right now. The fast cars are working their way towards the front. Look out! We got one spinning up into number 4.
And John, I believe that's the number 57 of Donnie Ekman. Donnie Ekman very lucky not to get hit.
I thought we were going to have a hairy situation there. Most of the field was behind Ekman, and everybody made it.
Well, fortunately, Ekman was able to go up there high on the track, as you see right now, out of the groove, and I know a couple cars went alongside him, but...
Well, one thing that he done, he was able to get that race car stopped. He did not continue to slide up the speedway. That car just went around and just pretty much stopped right where it was.
Okay, and we noticed that flagman Bob Hockenberry is calling for a complete restart. So apparently the scorers were unable to tell who was running where when that happened.
Yeah, that's a bad situation for the scorers. You know, a first lap restart because the cars are just really scattered all over the place. And you wanted to mention when we were covering the post-race interview, we'll have that coverage hopefully with our other camera, but you were saying about Mike Hess.
Mike Hess, yeah, he did apologize for what happened on the track. Of course, you know, sometimes you just can't help situations like that. I'm sure Mike didn't do it intentionally. He apologized. You know, he hates to see things like that. He certainly doesn't like to be on the receiving end of something like that, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen.
That's a true sportsman move on his part.
Right, yellow lights are flashing, so they're going to go at least one more time around this half-mile speedway here at Port Royal. So we'll be back once we're ready to go green flag, Randy. Okay, Randy, looks like we're going to be getting a green flag, hopefully now. Up in turns 3 and 4, Roger Fickett, no laps completed, is your pole setter. And look at these hot shots coming from the back, Randy. There's not much you can do about that.
No green.
Look out! Oh, that's a hairy situation down in that first and second turn, Randy. Yellow light does come back on, just as you predicted. It's going to be tough to get these cars underway here because all the fast machinery is in the back of the pack.
You know, that's why I'm always against a start like this, you know. I'm sure it's interesting for the fans, but like you have always said, it's hard on race cars because it's just like laying a chain out. Did you ever try pushing a chain?
That's about what it amounts to.
It's just about impossible, so we're going to try again.
I'll tell you, you know, I hold my breath because one of the worst things that could happen now would be, you know, there goes the Greg Salshop car in the pits, Dave Wickham, so he's got problems with that car. The yellow light's all right, so maybe we're going to get a green here. But we wouldn't want to lose one of our top drivers here in one of these unnecessary accidents. We'll watch them. I think we're going to get a green this time, Randy.
No, we didn't. Not again.
Well, look out.
You know, starts like that, the only good thing there for is maybe some good video footage. That's about it.
Yeah, I hope that, you know, they can get things ironed out here. Those fast guys in the back are definitely going to want to be working their way up through the slower cars. And
Flagman Bob Hockenberry has a black flag out. I'm sure he's going to point it at somebody. He's definitely not happy.
He's warning the whole field, Randy.
Yes, he is. These guys should know you can't win the race in the first lap.
No, but you can sure lose it.
Oh, that's true.
You can lose a race on the first lap real easy.
Definitely the way they're doing it, somebody's going to.
Yeah, well, we'll watch them this time. Yellow lights are still on as they head over, as we watch them.
They're off now. The yellow lights are off.
Okay, back of the pack, I think, got the strongest warning there, Randy, from the look on Bob Hockenberry's face. We'll watch them. Bobby Weaver trying to sneak up there. Okay, green flag waves. We are underway officially here. Everybody heading into that first and second turn. It looks like an Oklahoma land rush down there, Randy.
It certainly did. Everybody's looking for the gold, and the gold's at the end of this feature event.
Okay, Number 66, Roger Fickett, is your leader off turn 4. Here comes some of the hot shots from the back of the pack now, Randy. And Ty Scott getting way up near that fence over on turn 2. Look at this race down the backstretch. Roger Fickett has now been passed by Darren Ash, the number 7. Ash has a problem.
Roger Fickett has regained the lead. Darren S. runs second. Tim Hershey third. Bobby the number 5 W Randy Wolf moves into the action. So here they come off turn 4, John.
Okay, Roger Fickett's still your leader. Darren S. trying to move into that number 1 spot. And now Darren Ash will take the lead as they head down the backstretch. Right there on your screen, Darren Ash, your new leader, Randy, off turn 4. Roger Fickett runs second. Then it's Randy Wolf.
And John, so far, Keith Kaufman has been unable to make up any ground at all. He's just about the same spot he was when he started, so...
And so is Joe Gravino.
Exactly.
We'll watch him once again off that 4th turn. Darren Ash stands a good chance of winning this event. Here comes your battle, Randy Wolf. Randy Wolf down on the inside of Roger Fickett. Wolf will move up to second now.
Okay, if Darren S. can keep control here, he's certainly in a commanding position as they come off at turn 4. There you see him, your race leader, the number 7 of Darren Ash. Running second, the 5W of Randy Wolf. In that 3rd position now, Paul Latier has moved past the number 66 of Roger Fickett. So Darren S. completes another lap in that ENG class, number 7.
If this race goes straight through, Darren S. stands an excellent chance of winning here tonight, Randy.
Yeah, this is only 20 laps, so let's hope that she goes straight through.
Keith Kaufman now has made a move, and he just is trying to work his way by Roger Fickett and the number 66 as we watch Randy Wolf. Yellow lights are on. That's a tough break for Darren Ash because he had quite a bit of real estate between him and your 2nd place man, Randy Wolf.
One thing's for sure, Darren is getting a hold of the racetrack. Keith Kaufman, the last couple laps there, was able to gain about 5 or 6 positions. So he now runs, I believe it is in the 5th position.
Okay, Paul Latier. Actually, Darren Ash was the first real fast car to make his way to the front. And following him was Randy Wolf and Paul Latier behind that. And then, like you said, Kaufman passed about 5 cars all in 1 lap. That put him up in behind Roger Fickett. But our race winner, right there, you see him on your screen, the number 28 of Joey Gravino, right there. He just went by. He has, as of yet, to make a move, Randy. Gravino's still running about where he started.
Yeah, Joe, it's tough when you have to go from the rear because the track is an equalizer. It's real hard and dry. There's really no fast part of the racetrack. You just have to do a little bit of manipulating. This is where Keith Kaufman's able to really come through. He's got all that racetrack experience, and he knows how to look for a hole and pick it and go.
Well, one thing's for sure, Joey Gravino not running on a big budget, and by the looks of some of that action up in front of him, hey, you never know. He could have been saying, hey, boys, go ahead and go at it. I'll just lay back here and watch the action and make my bid near the end of the race.
Yeah, maybe he will.
Okay, we'll be watching our starter, Bob Hockenberry, and it looks like they're going to go another trip around here, Randy. The yellow lights are still on. Okay, they're going to be going one more trip around, so we'll be back once we're ready to go with the green flag, Randy. Okay, Randy, looks like we may get a green flag this time. Darren Ash, your leader. Randy Wolf runs second. Paul Latier third. Then it's Roger Fickett and Keith Kaufman. Kaufman's on the throttle. He already goes by Fickett. Here they come off turn 4, Randy.
And it's Randy Wolf jumping into that lead. This is going to be another battle to the wire. Darren Ash down low. Look at Kaufman on the outside.
And look at Paul Latier as he heads down the backstretch. Latier comes out of that second. Randy Wolf will be your new leader off turn 4, Randy. Paul Latier win this would be for Randy Wolf, too. He's still looking for his first feature win here at Port Royal.
Okay, Randy Wolf continues to lead. Right there in the battle, and Keith Kaufman moves into that second position. So he'll set his sights on the 5W Randy Wolf.
Randy Wolf driving that new chassis tonight. That is a Lee Osborne car. And we'll see if he can hold off Keith Kaufman. It's going to be another thriller race.
Halfway. Okay, we're halfway in this event. 10 laps down, 10 to go.
Randy Wolf definitely has his work cut out for him here tonight, Randy.
Okay, I'm sure you're going to see Keith Kaufman move right up behind the number 5W of Randy Wolf.
Here they come off turn 4. Randy Wolf running a very good line. Keith Kaufman runs second. Paulatier runs third. Darren Eshnell runs fourth. Tobias runs in that fifth spot.
Okay, we got the cars strung out now all around the racetrack. Randy Wolf now, you see him on the backstretch, moved around that number 4 of Dave Harold as he puts another lap on him and another lap here at the Port Royal Speedway.
Randy Wolf puts that Lee Osborne car right up on the cushion, and he's not showing any fear, Randy. He's running that car right up on that cushion.
Hey, it'd really be nice to see Randy Wolf pull off a victory here tonight, but Keith Kaufman's looking for that career number 13 victory all in one season, so he's going to be putting the pressure on.
Now, win number 13's been a tough one for Kaufman. He has closed in now on Randy Wolf. He runs right in the slipstream of Randy Wolf now.
Okay, there you see it. The true battle that's occurring here on the Speedway. Randy Wolf is going to get into some lap traffic here. Let's see how he does.
Okay, Keith Kaufman still runs second, right behind Randy Wolf. Wolf makes it by very easily. Kaufman also makes it by, no problems. They got some clear track in front of them, Randy.
Okay, there they go down the backstretch. What a race we have here tonight. Anybody who came to see the races tonight sure is getting their share of action.
And Keith Kaufman once again puts it right up on the cushion. This might be it right here, Randy.
Now they got another lap car, so Kaufman had to move back up on the racetrack. Here we go. Let's hope they can both get by here rather easily. And they do.
You're going to see some hard driving out of Keith Kaufman now. He's right on the rear bumper. Randy Wolf. Kaufman gets a little bit high on the speedway. Here they come, 1-2, Randy.
What a race these fans are seeing tonight. Kaufman right up on the cushion. Wolf right up on the cushion. Nobody can make a mistake.
No room for error there as we watch him head down the backstretch. Randy Wolf's going to start to get into some more lap traffic now. The number 4 of Dave Harold. Right there's your lap traffic. There come your 2 leaders.
This race is really fantastic, John. Nose and tail, Kaufman gets just a little bit crossed up, but he gathers it back up again.
Okay, a lot of laps have reeled off here, Randy. We got to be getting near the end now, as Keith Kaufman's going to be really pushing it.
2 laps to go. We got another point on hand here. We have a yellow flag.
Ah, all right.
But one thing that's nice about this yellow, John, it's going to be clear racetrack.
That's right, that's right. And Randy Wolf has got to be the man of the hour here. He's going to have to try and hold off Keith Kaufman. And Kaufman was denied that feature, that 13th feature win by Joe Gravino just earlier tonight. And I think you're going to see some really fantastic driving out of Keith Kaufman. You watch this, Randy.
Is this going to be 3 for 3 for the underdogs tonight, John? That's what we're going to find out here in just a minute. So we'll be right back for the exciting conclusion of this, the second leg of this 120 event right after this. Okay, we're back here at Port Royal Speedway. The cars are going down the backstretch. 2 laps to go in this event. Randy Wolf will set the pace. Paulatier trying to inch ahead. Here we go, the green flag wave.
2 laps to go on your leader, Randy Wolf. Here they come off turn 4. Can Randy Wolf hold off Keith Kaufman?
And he pulls away just a little bit, John. He puts a little bit of breathing room between himself and Keith Kaufman. Kaufman gets high on the racetrack, nearly loses it. Wolf with a 5-car lead.
That might have been all that Randy Wolf needed, because he's been running a really good line. Kaufman's been having a lot of trouble with Randy Wolf here. Here they come off turn 4.
2 to go.
2 laps to go.
Woo! Kaufman once again gets perilously close to that fence. He's trying every trick he knows.
That front end was pushing very hard on the number 77. He is really diving that car into those corners hard, Randy.
Here they come off turn 4,
Look
Randy
out,
Wolf.
Kaufman. 3 and 4. That's his favorite end of the racetrack right there. But he's up high. Randy Wolf's in the groove. Look at this. Keith Kaufman pulls off the victory. Unbelievable.
Okay, finishing third in the number 7 is Paul Latier. Finishing fourth in the 880 is Scott Tobias. Finishing fifth is 7 of Darren Ish. Then it's the number 28 of Ty Scott, the 17E of Chris Esch, the 16 of Bobby Weaver, and the 28 of Joe Gravino. John, I'll tell you what, Randy Wolf made a very, very big mistake. He came down on the racetrack. He should have stayed up high. That's all that Keith needed.
I'll tell you what, I said it just as it was about to happen. That end of the racetrack, that third and fourth turn, is Kaufman's favorite part of this speedway. He passes more people on turns 3 and 4 than any other part of this racetrack. Randy Wolf done all the right things up until that last little maneuver off turn 4 that give Keith Kaufman the room. But Kaufman done a superb job. I mean, he seen the whole, just reminded me of Mitch Smith, Randy.
That's exactly right. Al Hamilton has to be very, very pleased with his driver, Keith Kaufman, who may be one of the finest, if not the finest, sprint car drivers in this country. He runs every Saturday night right here at Port Royal Speedway. We're glad to have him here. And he just set the record for the most feature wins in one season, 13.
Okay, we got a camera down there in the winner's circle with Keith Kaufman and that ecstatic Hamilton crew. They got to be super pleased with that performance by Keith Kaufman. We'll switch it down to the winner's circle celebration down there with Kaufman and the Hamilton crew.
Scott does have up his sleeve.
I don't know, but he seems to show me a new one every time he gets in trouble.
Well, all I can say is, hey, by the way, heads up. Keith Kaufman is the winningest sprint car driver in Port Royal for a single season. Keith, congratulations.
Well, I don't know.
You know, I have seen you race here so often, I thought I knew your every move, but mister, you just showed me another one.
Well, I don't know. It looked like he just gave me a little bit of room, and I got a good shot getting off before. He was getting a little loose, and I just got a good shot off before, got around him.
Keith, you have now established yourself as the winningest driver in the history of Port Royal Speedway, and you have also established yourself as the winningest driver in a single season. This is number 13.
Yeah, lucky 13.
Lucky 13. I have a question for you. What goes on in the Keith Kaufman's mind when you have Randy Wolf out there setting a blistering pace? Did you think you were going to run out of time, or what was going through your mind?
Well, everything you can do is just hang in there and keep trying. You never know the last lap at checker flag poles.
I think you're giving your car owner some gray hairs.
Yeah, it's a good race.
What about Al's gray hairs?
Well, I don't know. I got them too.
You always find some grease in 44. I think you've been winning enough money.
Yeah, probably.
Keith, a gift from you from Lorenz Cornelli and Stop 35. I don't know if you're going to give them to Betty back here. She's waiting to pounce on them real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, that was one heck of a race. Last lap, fourth. Keith Kaufman, ladies and gentlemen. Hamilton and victory lane. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, now wait a minute. I'm going to talk to her. Hey, this young lady here is from Al. She is from where?
I don't know.
Israel. She is from Israel. Has she ever seen a sprint car race?
Okay, Randy, that was the the big celebration down there in the winner's circle. Al Hamilton, Keith Kaufman, they're still conducting that interview down there, taking some pictures. But you don't mind seeing Kaufman win, dominate the track, whatever, as long as it's a good, close race like we just seen.
Yeah, like I said, this was a night for the fans, that's for sure. You know, no race was really decided here tonight until right coming down for the checkered flag.
Yeah.
That's the way we like to see them.
That's for sure. I noticed Kaufman, as he was pursuing our leader there, Randy Wolf, he would put that Al Hamilton race car into that first turn, and it looked like the car was pushing quite a bit. He had the wheels turned to the left. The front end of the car was just wanted to go towards the fence. And I didn't think it was going to happen down in turns 1 and 2. I was looking for it off this fourth or third turn here.
That's for sure. And you know, Randy Wolf made what I would call a little bit of a strategic error there. The last 2 or 3 laps, he moved down just a little bit, was running in the black rather than running up right on the cushion, and that's all that Keith Kaufman needed. You got to hand it to Keith. He won this race. He deserved it.
Could have been, you know, it's possible that Randy thought he was high enough on the racetrack, you know, to prevent a pass on the outside, such as Kaufman was able to pull off there. But, you know, sometimes you can lose track of a car that's been running behind you. You know, a lot of times these drivers will have almost a sixth sense. They'll know where that other car is right behind them. It could have been for just an instant Randy Wolf lost track of Kaufman, you know.
It's very possible, but Keith Kaufman's the kind of driver that he's looking all the time. He never, ever gives up. No matter what, that's one thing that Al Hamilton, as you see Al right there, I know Al's really happy. He always looks for a driver who will never give up, and he's got one standing right beside him there.
That's for sure. Right there you can see Kathy, his wife, walking along the side in the white pants and jacket. Kathy Kaufman, and there, of course, you said Keith, and his owner, Al Hamilton. Just a classic win tonight by Kaufman. Of course, he also sets that new record for the most wins in a season.
Exactly right, John, and your voice is getting just about as hoarse as mine is here tonight. If every race was like this at Port Royal, I don't think I could stand it.
We'd never make it. We'd never make it. All right, well, you've seen a couple of thrillers here tonight at Port Royal Speedway. This has been a Strasser Motorsports video production, and if you haven't been attending the races here at Port Royal Speedway, it's still not too late. We've got a lot of good races coming up. The Tuscarora 50 will close out the season. Of course, the classic Labor Day race will be coming up here on September the 2nd. It's a Monday afternoon show, starts at 1 o'clock, I believe. And the Enduro 200 actually will close the curtain, you might say, on the Speedway here. It's coming up on September the 7th. The Enduro 200 will be here to cover that action, and a whole lot of really good racing coming up. Next week we'll have the small block modifieds here at Port Royal Speedway. I'm really looking forward to seeing those. So you still got 5, 6 really super shows coming yet for 85. And then, like I say, if you haven't been attending the races, you know, they ought to get out here and catch one of these shows before it's too late, wouldn't you say, Randy?
Absolutely, John. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's certainly thrilling to be standing up here alongside you doing these videos. We're seeing some of the finest racing you'll see anywhere in the United States, and tonight was definitely, at least in the first leg was Joe Gravino, and the second leg was all Keith Kaufman.
Okay, that about wraps it up here at Port Royal Speedway on this August the 3rd. Beautiful Saturday night here. All the conditions were just right for a super race, and we've seen a couple of good ones. And this is Johnny Strasser along with Randy Satzler saying so long from the Port Royal Speedway.